Today I have pulled up my passenger side speaker. You can see it's kind of floppy there because these are riveted on here. This is basically, it's like MDF. Those rip through, Miranda's laughing, and I need to get these out, and I don't have a drill on me, so I'm just going to use some dikes, as they call them. Today we're going to be changing out our OEM speakers for aftermarket speakers. I have Pioneer TS A1675R 3-way speaker, 300 watt maximum. That's, if you're pushing it through an amplifier. And the size of these are 6.5, and they will fit up to a 6 3/4. These speakers, if I understand correctly, are 5 inches, which is kind of a weird size. Very easy to remove the door, and the good news is that there's actually holes for 6.5-inch speakers on the some year of 240. I think the later years of the 240s. I know the older ones used 4.5-inch speakers. So we're going to basically remove a screw here and here. Those just rotate till it's vertical, and then you pull them out. They're just little tabs. It kind of pops in here and here in the corners. There's a screw here, here and there, Torx. You pry that out. We'll pry this out. This whole armrest is going to rotate 90 degrees up and come out. And unscrew that. Pop 4 tabs that are holding the door panel in place. This can stay, and then the panel comes up and out. You'll unplug the speaker. It'll be attached to the, it's like a MDF. That's kind of what it looks like. And then we'll take the rivets off of the speaker, and you can also pop the cover off of it and take the 4 screws, which will make things a little easier. And I'll show you what I'm talking about on the bench. And it's going to sound great. I'm really excited. So when you're looking at the regular mounting holes for those rivets, there's the 4 here, and then you look just to the side and you'll see extra holes. Now those fit almost perfectly with the 6.5-inch speaker. A pretty dirty door panel here. You can see stains, a little bit of a darker spot. Here's where the armrest was around the speaker. It's pretty ugly. I'm going to be using this Tough Stuff. It's a carpet cleaner, stain remover, yada yada. It's got a nice little brush here, which is fairly stiff. And we will see how well it takes out those stains. And then there's some dirt on the bottom here. That was a really, really excellent opportunity to just clean everything. It's better than it was. It won't be perfect, but it still looks pretty good for being 23 years old, just about. One major concern people have about installing aftermarket speakers is the depth, because you don't want the windows to interfere with the speaker. So if you look here, you can see that it's not that much deeper, but it does sit a little further out than the other speaker would. Say between here and here. Yeah, so it sits about the same space in, and I'll show you when I get this one put on the panel on the driver's side now. I'm just going to clean that up, and you'll see it doesn't actually stick out that far from the back. I'd say it turned out pretty good. No more of that. A lot less fading there. Perfect. There's the new speaker compared to the old janky speaker. Oh, it's beautiful. The much easier way to get to this. Pop off that cover. There's 4 screws holding the speaker down to the riveted back plate, and then you can hit it with the dikes right there. Knock that baby out. Okay, one bit of good news is that you don't have to cut the back there here to fit. You know how it's larger like that? Because there's this is raised, this is lower, and that's slightly raised. So what someone's done, and that's where your holes line up on the door. It's incredible. I mean, they have the doors with holes, and they use the wrong holes here. So that will fit here. If you first put the wires through like that. Let me get my focus. Oh, come on, phone. There we go. And so the way it's gonna sit is it sits flat on the right and almost flat on the left, a little bit of a taper. We might want longer screws, but essentially it sticks out inch and a half or so. And that should be good for the clearance of the glass there. Very nice. The screws that came with the speaker were black, so in the meantime I got these these stainless screws because they're longer to make up for that extra room there. I won't see any of the text here, but essentially you can see the hose. This is the other side here. I've trimmed the edges there so that it kind of fits well in there. Started my screws on the bottom end. I've put these little clips to hold it there. If they reach inside, that'd be great. If they don't, it's really sturdy just on the door panel, and that door panel's got its clips and screws holding it together, so that looks like that should be everything you need. And I get these started, and then I tuck this in, and then I tighten it up, so I'm gonna need both hands for that, but essentially you get the point. It's gonna be really clean. Looking pretty good there. Sturdy. Lovely. Trash can. So in my research I found that there are these holes here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And those are the guys that we're going to try and attach the little cutout here that comes with the speakers. I just realized I've got a crack right there. That's not good. I don't want to fix that. Yeah, so anyways, I want to move that out of the way. And a crack right there too. Wonder what happened. Okay. Our pattern, it's awfully close. Yeah, seems to fit right about where it needs to be. So, if I can get that perfect, what do you know? Let's bring the speaker out and make sure it'll fit. Well, ain't she a beaut? A little bit tricky trying to get this thing in there, but it worked out alright. First glance, it looks pretty good. The hose, I would trim it a little bit better next time. I think what I'll do is trim it a little bit better next time. But it's alright. Should give it a good crisp sound. Time to go grab my key and find out. Oh, don't mind the mess. Alright, this is the left speaker. Real muted.
I'm still learning about life.
Up.
My woman brought children for me, so I can sing them all my songs and I can tell them stories. Most of them
sound great,
are
right?
with me, some are still out seeking glory, and some I had to leave behind. My brother, I'm still sorry. Soon I'll be 60 years old. My daddy got 61. Remember,
A lot of more bass than the mid-tone.
I made a man so happy when once. I hope my children come and visit once or twice a month. Soon I'll be 60 years old. Will I think the world is cold, or will I have a lot of children who can
I like that.
hold me? Soon I'll be 60 years old.
I was really hoping that I had not replaced my air filter, because that would mean that I would be getting a little more power once I went to a new air filter. However, I have, so that's the bad news. The other bad news is that since I removed that little, this metal pipe that goes from the intake to the exhaust manifold, there's that metal tube that goes here, which everyone removes because they all break, and it basically warms up the air in here to help the engine get to operating temp faster. That's for emissions purposes, because your catalytic converter wants hot air. Once it's warmed up, it does a little bit better. So anyways, there's this valve in here that sticks along a lot of people's cars. So what they do is they leave it open. What I did is I didn't touch it at all. So basically, this whole valve here, which is where I should be getting my air, notice the much larger diameter there, versus this. Basically, I've been getting all of my air through here. That's not good. Not acceptable. loss of power, loss of airflow, etc., etc. Fuel economy sucks on my car. It's like 19 miles per gallon. I know that it's got an automatic, and you know, hopes and dreams go in, crushing disappointment comes out. So anyways, I could stick this open, or I could add a custom air filter. So that's what I'm going to do today. Basically, the original 90 degree here is going to wrap around the power steering pulley, I believe, or the AC on the bottom. And then we're going to have another 90 that goes that way. Next to the radiator, we'll put the filter. Now I know that the radiator basically sealed off here, so all the air goes through it that way. We'll see if it works. If I have any problems heating, I'll just put the box in and then gut it out. Here at the car, I've removed the battery. You can see the space I'm talking about here. There's that gap in the radiator. This is where the fresh air comes in using this duct. So I'll put that back in and route it up towards the air filter, that aftermarket one. And there's the MAF. So first elbow goes like that, second one goes like that. If I could just find maybe one, let's see, it's gonna bolt up like that. And then I gotta bend it a little bit more. I'm always bending this bracket to keep this from hitting. If I find one that's maybe like a 15 or 20 degree, that'll work. Here's our Frankenstein. This is a 3 to 2.5 coupler. I stretched it to fit the 2 3/4 that I needed. Small angle. What is this? 20 degrees? 22 degrees. And then a straight. Let's go see how it fits. Alrighty. One last look. It's all bolted in. First hose is a little sideways, but essentially I got it to fit. It's touching those wires, which are on the battery cable, and barely. But it's in. It's happy, I'm happy, and I'm going to bed. Alrighty, I just got home, and let me tell you, I really enjoyed having power at high RPM. You know, it was starving for air, and it was just kind of losing power right above 2,000 RPM, which really isn't that high if you think about it. So accelerating was a breeze. Loved it. I can't say, maybe 5 or 10 horsepower more, but basically it's where it should be. Temperature looks good. I'm going to find out a little bit more on that once I get it on the highway. And shout out to Brian. Just got off the phone with him in Arizona. He bought a 122 and it's gorgeous. He's on the right track with it. So thanks for watching, Brian. And yeah, feel free to shoot any comments, questions, concerns. I know I bought the cheapest Spectre kit out there, but hey, employee discount. Go team. All right, everybody. Have a good night.